Morning, everybody. It's Monday, the Monday after the long Thanksgiving holiday. I hope everybody had a great 4-day weekend. Hopefully you had a 4-day weekend. And here we go, just getting everybody up and online this morning. Had to get out here a little bit early. It's a little cooler than it has been, but not bad. Everybody's still, like I said, it's Monday morning. Morning, Kim. How you doing this morning? How's the sound? Hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. Just waiting for everybody to grab their coffee and get. Hey, Jacito. Good morning. It's Monday. I think we all feel about the same on Monday. It's like back to the grind. And today starts the countdown. Sounds good. Good. Thanks, Kim. Yeah, we have what, after today, 24 days till Christmas. Man, it seems like the older I get, the quicker it gets there. Anthony just joined. Getting busy just joined. Good morning, everybody. Glad to see everybody's up and going this bright and early Monday morning. Returning from, thank you, getting busy. Appreciate that. From the holiday weekend. I hope everybody had a good one and was able to spend it with their family and loved ones. It's always fun to get back to the game or the grind or whatever you might call it. Morning, God. Good morning. Oh my God. James Herbert just joined. Thank you, James. KCM. Thank you. Hey, K-Tot 90. Yeah, some of these are really good like that. Thank you, everybody, for joining. There you go. 1, 2. So I don't know. This morning, like I said, everybody's kind of slowly but surely trickling in. They got to get their coffee. Plus, it's a Monday. You know, Monday, everybody has a hard time kind of getting back in the groove. I don't know about the rest of you, but I never sleep really very well on Sunday night. Especially after a 4-day weekend, your sleep pattern changes a little. KPCM 834 joining us on YouTube all the way from Ireland. Thank you. And Clara loves YouTube. Hey, Clara, how you doing? If it's your first time here on YouTube, let me know where you're from. Make sure you like and share. And if you got any comments, by all means, put something in the comments. You guys use cactus plants. Yeah. Mowing God must have been up early this morning because he's just he's starting the day off. Ellen 876. Hey, how you doing? Clara's all the way from the great state of Nevada. All right. Clara, do you live close to Las Vegas where all that gambling goes on? My wife has a friend that lives in Pahrump. Mowing God, did you have a good weekend? Did you eat a lot of turkey? I think one of my questions of the day during this holiday was, good morning, Lorenza. Roger Pollock just joined. Can your trunk just joined? Go join. 10 inches of snow Saturday. Yeah. So like the northeast part, I know I saw that Ed said something about 10 inches of snow. And I was like, wow, we didn't have any snow. Did have a little bit of a cool front drop in on us here in Texas, but it's not bad. Watching, not sure it's about what I'm watching. Okay, that's okay. Ellen, all the way from the great state of New Jersey. How about that? Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. I appreciate it. Jay Chisel over here on TikTok just joined. Hey, good morning, everybody. So does anybody, good morning. Does anybody, oh, Alyssa, all right, from the Sunshine State of Florida. Hey, how's it going? Ellen, my day's going pretty good. Like I said, it's Monday, and I never sleep good on Sunday night, especially after I've had a 4 or 5 days off in a row, like I just got through doing, and yeah, it's like your sleep pattern changes a little bit, because normally, I'm up by 4 and 4:30, something like that, and I slept all the way till 5 o'clock, but I just on and off woke up multiple times during the night, and that's pretty normal for me on a Sunday night. But once Monday gets going, I kind of get back in the routine. Then I'm off and running again. So I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be when I retire here at the end of the year. So, or I should say, being retired wasn't my choice, but it was the choice that was handed to me. So I did, Jay Chisel. I had a good Thanksgiving, spent it with my family, and had a few days off. So that was always good. It's always good to take a break here and there. WB 6307, all the way from Erie, PA. All right. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Yeah, so hopefully we have a few college football fans. I watched quite a bit of college football. That's my downfall. That, and we did some cooking and all of that fun stuff. Spent some time with my grandkids. I got lists. Thank you for joining the fan club. Hey, everybody who joins over here on TikTok, if you join, and same thing for YouTube, if you give me a follow, I'll go check out your page too. If you have any content out there, let me know in the comments if you post anything, or if you don't, that's okay too. But following is free, and yeah, it doesn't cost anything. And everybody knows Chisel, yeah, I heard you. Thank you. Yeah, so good morning, Ed. How you doing? Yeah, I saw that Ed's video he posted. What's your college team? Alyssa, my college team is the Texas Longhorns, and granted, they're not going to play for this year for the championship, but they beat all of their rival teams this year, and so I consider that a great year. Plus, they beat the Aggies, and that really made me happy. So, and you might have seen a short clip of that that I put out, but yeah, those Aggies bit the bullet. And it was a good game. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure if Texas could pull it off, but they did. So it was a good thing. I'm sure A&M wasn't too crazy about it. Yeah, no snow in Texas. I don't think I've been watching Cal Cop too, and he got some cold weather up there in the Panhandle, but no snow. But wow. How about 10 inches of snow Thanksgiving? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen 10 inches of snow ever in Texas. You know, Texas doesn't really get much snow. It's usually just ice. It rains and freezes and turns into ice. I have to do that. Let me hit that real quick. Oh, where did that go? I saw something pop up on YouTube here where it said you could add a Q&A sticker. So I'm going to have to look at that and see if I can do that in the future. From the snowy, frigid Illinois. Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty, you know, snow's really pretty, but yeah, I don't know. 10 inches of snow, that so Ed, are people, of course I know they probably still are people, do they still have the ability to get out? I mean, they get the roads cleared off when you've had that much snow, and doesn't that usually turn into ice, or not necessarily? Alyssa, what's your college team? Jay, Ashley. Hey, Ashley, thank you for joining. Thank you for the hearts. Eric Cuervo, good morning. Hola, ¿cómo está, señor? What little bit of Spanish I speak. Joshua just joined. Hey, Josh, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I know. When you live in a different country like the great state of Texas, oh, that's it. You know how it is. It's tough, but somebody has to do it. Roads are salted, clear by Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I can imagine the mornings are probably the toughest time. You know, the thing is in the Northeast where they do get a lot of snow and ice. Um, yeah, there's a lot of new coaches in. Alessa, you're right. There's a lot of new coaches in the college football world. I know they're going to announce. I was just looking here. I think they said they won't announce the final decision on college football 12-team playoff bracket until Sunday, December the 7th. So that'll be coming up. But I think most everybody knows who's going to be playing who. And Texas will get a good bowl game, and that's always good for them. So yeah, like I was saying, up in the Northeast, they have the equipment, and they're prepared to take care of the roads, where really here in Texas they're not. I mean, they if they think we're going to get ice, they don't put salt on the roads, but they spray a chemical. The state will spray a chemical across all the bridges and upper level decks where people drive, and but yeah, if we get too much ice, it pretty much shuts things down, at least until the ice clears and we get to all go. And you know, I used to just like, hey, you know, it's icy, I'll just go slower. But what you have to realize when the roads are icy in Texas is if you do hit a patch of ice, you don't even have to be going fast. You could end up in the ditch, or you could end up hitting somebody else's car who's just sitting there doing nothing. And the same thing can happen to you. And I always tell my guys, hey, it's like this. If you're driving on ice in bad weather trying to get to work, and another car totals your car, the company's not going to pay for any of your injuries, nor are they going to take responsibility and pay for your car. So stay home. And that's my whole thing there is it's not worth, uh, you know, your safety or someone else's safety or your vehicle being damaged. It's nothing that can't wait. And you know, the good thing in this day and time is so many of us, with technology, we can work from home if we have to. It does limit what you can do sometimes, but you can do that. That's every day up here we drive. I know, I know, and that's the whole thing. Is up in the Northeast is they drive through that all the time. Yeah, Alyssa knows. She goes, yeah, sliding through that black ice will get your attention. It sure will. It'll make your hiney pucker if you get some of that black ice and you get going down a hill, or I mean, you just never know because the brakes are not going to help. The brakes are not your friend in ice. The Southern folk, yeah, that's right, morning guy. We when it comes to cold weather, we're soft. But you know, that's funny. Everyone who ever comes to Texas or where it's warmer, Florida, you know, the South, all of them say they would never move back up north because of the weather, of the not. I mean, there's certain times of the year it's really pretty. It's not overly hot. You can grow a lot of things where you have a little cooler temperature, whereas you come to Texas, it's just hot a lot. And but I mean, I work with two guys that are from the Northeast, and both of them say, you know, they go back for visits, but they say they would never move back there permanently. And both of them have said it's because of the weather. They don't want to shovel snow. And I can't imagine having to get up and try to get your car warmed up when it's, you know, below zero and there's snow on the road. And you know, and this one guy lives up near where Ed lives, and in Illinois and close to Chicago, and grew up on the south side of Chicago. And he said, you know, companies don't shut down. They expect you to be at work right on time. And so to do that, because there's bad weather out, you a lot of times have to get up several hours early, shovel your way out of the snow. I don't know if it's as bad as he says it is, but you know, I'd have to take his word for it. Yeah. Floriders, yeah. They'll get one that I don't know, Alyssa. You may get that. Was it like? Well, they said Lane Kiffin. I'm really not. I really don't understand why Mississippi wants to get rid of him so bad. Because I mean, they've had a good season. I think they're just butting heads, him and the administration. That's too bad. But I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he went to LSU. Lane Kiffin. 10 inches yesterday. And oh man, crazy granny. 10 inches yesterday in North Michigan. That's nuts. What was it? What football? I watched part of the Michigan Ohio State game, and it was started snowing during that. And wow, I was really hoping Michigan could have beat Ohio State again. But I guess maybe this is just a year for Ohio State. They seem to be. They haven't, you know, they've got everybody's number, it seems like. So, you know, I don't know. They for sure will be playing in the championship game. I just don't know who else will be playing there. So we'll see Sunday when they say, you know, first round, who's going to play who. What do y'all think about the college football going to the 12 team playoff system? I like it. I think it gets a lot more people involved, and you could be a team that maybe didn't get as ranked as high as some others, but you still have a shot. So, yeah, poor Michigan. They just couldn't get it together this year. But I've seen some games where they've playing in the snow and get their running game going, and they do good for sure. So it's Monday. What is everybody? I mean, has everybody got? Are you ready? Are you ready for Christmas? It's 24 days to Christmas. Ed is got what? Do we even have 30 days left? Ed, are you on 335, 336 on day? So Ed does. Ed's our Lutheran minister in Northern Illinois, and he does take a walk, take a picture, and he's been walking every day, rain, sleet, or snow, and taking a picture. And that was just a goal he had this last year, and he's just about there. So if you see him on YouTube, it's Ed Blonsky. He has a YouTube page. If you see him pop up, watch his video, give him a follow, give him some words of encouragement, put something in his comment section. Because I'm not sure that any of us, I mean, if you think about that, if you made a commitment on January the 1st, well, not even January the 1st, you'd have to do it on December the 31st, so you could start on January the 1st, and you were going to do something every single day, rain, sleet, or snow, no matter what comes up. I mean, even think about, and hopefully you don't get sick or anything like that, and he has not missed one single day. And not to jinx him, but to give him a pat on the back, because those kind of commitments they're tough. Even if you want to, things happen that are out of your control. But so far, so good. Yep, today is 335 days straight. We're going for 365. So, like, if you see him on TikTok or YouTube, either one, make sure you go and give him a like and put something in the comments and encouragement. So he gets today 365. I was like, wow, what a day. I mean, I don't know how you do that. He's got to be coming up with something. It's got to come up with something for this next year. It's crazy. This next year is going to be different. It was really funny. That's pretty good, Ed. Ed's not missed one day. He reading through the Bible for a whole year with Chad Bird. So that's always a good thing too. No's just joined. Good morning. Thank you for joining this morning. Well, that was a drive-by. That is great, Ed. So, Ed does a lot of things. He has a podcast on the Apple and Spotify called Reflection. And you can, if you like podcasts, he's got some great guests on there. Make sure if you're looking for it, just type in Ed Blonsky and Reflection and it'll come up. And he's on season 5. So you can go back and start from the beginning if you're interested. I've got some heaters going here. And these two little heaters warmed up the office, the garage office, pretty good this morning. I don't know what the temp is. I didn't look to see what the temp was here. I want to say they said it was going to be in the 40s, which is, nothing compared to where a lot of you are. It's probably much colder. Ed, how cold is it there in Northern Illinois? It's funny. I have a little personal heater to my left here sitting on my desk, and my coffee cup sits right in front of it. And my granddaughter was telling me she thought I needed like a coffee cup warmer so that when I set my coffee down, it would keep my coffee warm. Well, I'll tell you what, that little space heater is doing a really good job. And I didn't even get it for that, but it's good. It's kind of 2 for 1. Puts a little warm air on me in the morning and keeps the coffee cup warm and hot too. So that's pretty good. 11 degrees. Whew, that's cold. You don't want to be outside too long if it's 11 degrees, that's for sure. So later in the week, I'm thinking it's probably going to be, well, we can do it whichever day y'all want to, but I was thinking maybe Thursday we'd do trivia, but I want to do, I'm pretty sure I have the game trivia, and I meant to do that over the weekend and just got busy doing other stuff. But I want to get the trivia cards themselves, because my goodness, they have, if you see a trivia game set, they've got all kinds of, there's probably 200-300 cards that you can ask questions from. And I think that might be fun instead of me coming up with questions. So, yeah. Yeah. So I think we'll probably do that on Thursday. Maybe we'll do trivia. That seems to be always something fun to do. And I always like to hear people's answers. So today, y'all let me know what, if anything, to the neighbor's heated garage. I started to say, Ed, what are you going to do for sorry, that's the fam leaving, some of the family leaving for work. What are you going to do for Bible study? Because Ed's garage is not insulated. The only part of mine that's not insulated is the actual garage door, but the rest of it's insulated. So it's not too terrible. I mean, it would have to get really cold out here that space heaters, a couple of space heaters wouldn't keep it comfortable. So does your wife let you Ed, does your wife let y'all come into the house? On Thursday it'll be 20. You better turn them space heaters on early. So if you don't know, Ed leads a Bible study, and he streams it online. He does a live. That's one of his lives. He does a lot of media stuff, but that's live on Thursday nights at 6:30, and everyone's welcome to join. So he streams it on, I think, Ed, are you only streaming it on TikTok right now, right? I can't remember if can't be in the house because we have. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so it is on YouTube as well as TikTok. So he streams it in both places. Good deal. He and I I'm learning from Ed. It's great that that you can stream on TikTok and YouTube, because YouTube saves it and turns it into a video. So if for some reason somebody can't join and wants to still participate in the Bible study, well, that's always still available to them through YouTube, because it turns it into a video and then you can watch it at your convenience. So yeah. Yeah, that's great, Ed. Yeah, that extra, and people don't realize sometimes that, when you're streaming, that you kind of have to have some, even if it's just basic equipment, there are a few pieces of things that you need. You kind of, you need a microphone like Ed and I use, but then also, because part of it's being streamed via a PC and a webcam, you also have to have a mic you can't see it, but it's off to the side. It's just a boom mic, which is fine. And both of those seem to work really well, but it's always fun to do that. And I always look at technology, and I work in technology, is that I'm always amazed at what we can do in the group. I mean, think about this. We had somebody from Ireland, Florida, New Jersey, Texas, Illinois, all across the United States. Nobody from California, because it's really early there. we start. But sometimes, occasionally, you'll have somebody that maybe's working nights or something, and they do that. So yeah, and that we're all able to get together and talk and have coffee together. I mean, that's to me, for technology, that's one of the things that I really like about technology. There's some things I don't like about it, but with every bit of good comes some not so good. So, but for the most part, it's good. So, like I said, countdown 24 after today, 24 days till Christmas. Is anybody planning on traveling for Christmas? Always, they always show the news of people standing in line, stranded in airports, trying to get home or get home to see their family or get home from seeing their family. I have a couple of guys that are going to be traveling during the Christmas holiday, and I always tell them, hey, try to plan ahead a few days so that you're not traveling on the peak of the business travel. And two, if something happens and you were to get stranded, and I have been stranded in the airport before with a sick wife, so it's not a fun place to be. I'm not really awake. George over here on YouTube, he's on live. He wants to say good morning from San Diego, chilly here. I can imagine he's not alive. He's probably just woke. He probably just woke up and saw something but wow, George must be, maybe he's getting ready to go to work. He's probably one of those guys got to be at work at 5 or so. Because what time is it? It's 4:17 there. So yeah. I'm not. So George is not really awake yet. He hasn't had his second cup of coffee yet. Cal Cop just popped in there. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Good morning. Morning. Cal Cop posted a video about his horses. I thought you got some pretty horses there. I used to have it's been a long time since I've ridden, but when I was probably in high school, I worked for one of the jobs I did while I was in high school was I worked for a guy that bought, he'd go to the sales, buy these 2-year-olds, green broke horses. We'd break them in and then he'd sell them. You don't really see that much anymore, but that was a fun experience when I was in high school. And that's probably, really the last time I would say I've ridden much consistently was when I was in high school. And then of course we moved, and so we didn't have a place to have horses. So, but I had a Appaloosa mare, and her name was Maggie, and man, she cost me, and of course, like I said, I was back in high school then, so I want to say around $1,000. It seemed like a lot of money when I was in high school, but oh my God, she was like riding a rocking chair. She had such a smooth gait and pretty. I hated to sell her when I did, but I didn't have a choice. So, and that's probably the last time I've ridden much. Here and there. I went to Colorado a few years back, and Donna and I spent a week or so up there, and we rode horseback in the mountains. And I mean, if you like to ride horseback, it's fun, but man, when you have, we were in a mining town. I'm trying to think of the name of that town. It was an old mining town, and they had, an outfit there where you could ride. They took tours up the mountain to the top, and we were actually supposed to go to the top of the mountain and then camp out, spend the night, and then come back down the next day. Except that and believe it or not, this was in late August, and it snowed and was freezing on the top of the mountain. So we went up, but they made us come right back down. They wouldn't let anybody camp out there because of you wouldn't think that, you're down at the bottom, and it's cool. It's not hot during the day. I'd say it probably got about 75, but at night it would get down in the 20s and 30s. And so, yeah, but it was fun. I'm trying to think, where was that? Where did we go? It was in southern Colorado. That's probably been 15 years ago. I'll think of it later, Cal Cop. I can't think of where I was at. I can't think of the little town we were in. And we were in, we stayed in wasn't a campground, just where they rented little cabins, and the Rio Grande River ran through it. We did do some fishing, and that I like to do that. But man, those out-of-state fishing licenses, even for a one-day license, can be really expensive. I just remembered. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but yeah. Thanksgiving was good. I ate plenty of turkey. We had smoked turkey this year, and it was, I like traditional turkey. I like fried turkey too, but it's kind of a pain. I mean, it's not really a pain. I mean, you just have to have the equipment that you need to cook a fried turkey. My wife really likes fried turkey. So, and I've had a setup before, but like I said, it requires so much oil, and it's kind of a hassle. And if you don't do it a lot, you can really ruin your turkey dinner. So I don't want to be. That's like putting myself on, because if if somebody else is doing the cooking, I like fried turkey, no doubt. But it is a big giant pain, and you got to be careful too, because I mean, you could start a fire, grease. You got to make sure your turkey's dry and there's no water on it. You have the temp just right. You cook it just the right amount of time. So people that do it a lot, hey, Carol, it's really good. Well, I wouldn't, Alyssa, I wouldn't call myself a world traveler. I like to travel some. I've been out of the country a few times. But the last time I went out of the country, we were in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, and my wife got really sick while we were in Mexico. And if you ever get really ill in a third world country, that's not where you want to be, because they think penicillin fixes everything, and it doesn't. And by the time I got her back to the United States, she spent a week and a half in the hospital. She had pneumonia. And yeah. So from that trip on, I've said I have been out of the country one other time on a cruise. I'm not a cruise type person. I just thought they were okay. Some people really like going on cruises. Anybody like going on cruises? If you do, put something in the comments. Let me know. Yeah, we had 2 roasted turkeys. Oh yeah, I always like leftover turkey. Make some turkey sandwiches. Make some turkey salad sometimes. That's a good thing about morning. That's a good thing about leftovers at Thanksgiving is, you cook one meal and you really probably have enough food for a couple of meals, but that's always fun. But I think we pretty much went through all of the turkey and the leftovers this year. When your kids get older and you have their family, this family members here. So we We used to host Thanksgiving every year here in our home. And I want to tell you, when you host Thanksgiving for 30 people, 35 people, my wife has a really large family on her side. I don't, I only have one sister that's still alive. The rest of my family have gone on. So, but she has like 4 brothers and sisters, and they have kids, and yeah, it's crazy. So I'll tell you how big her family is. They've been having a family reunion in the same location in here in Texas for 175 years. The first family reunion, there's a story that goes with it. It's they have it in. You probably won't even know where this is at, but it's in Oak Mill, Texas. And there's nothing there but an old schoolhouse from the 1800s. And it's been maintained and marked as a Texas historical site. So that's where they have it every year. And been to many of them. But yeah, I mean, how many families can say they've been doing a family reunion for 175 years in the same location? Anyway, the story was back when they had the very first one, they were going to, the guys were roasting a pig for the family reunion, and they left it roasting, I guess, during the night, unattended, and a couple of bears, or a bear, came and stole the roasted pig off the fire and ran off with it. So when the men realized that they had lost their pig, they all went on a hunt, and they found the bear that had taken their pig, and they shot the bear. And so the first reunion, instead of having roasted pig, they had bear meat. And that's a true story. So yeah. No, what you gonna get your wife for Christmas? No, I do not. I'm terrible. So I'll sorry, Chris. So there's some. There's 78. So here's what I'll tell you about cruises. Just my experience. The food is mediocre at best. It depends on what cruise line. I mean, we went on. See, I had so much fun. I don't even remember the name of the cruise line. I'm drawing a blank here. Mississippi River Cruise. Oh, we are. Right. Well, here's the thing about cruises. They're very controlled. So when you do port, usually every port has a place where you can get off and shop and do a few things. But it's and even though you may be in another country, it's kind of like a safe area where the cruise ship and the people there at the port, they work together, and because of course they want the tourism, but they make sure those ports like that are safe. It's when you go outside those areas, because a lot of times they'll have tours that you can book, and that might take you to a different part away from the port. Those are ones that you got to be really careful, because if for some reason you don't get back to the port on time, they will leave you. They don't hold the boat, if you know what I mean. So if they tell you to be back whatever time they tell you, you better be there 30 minutes before them, because everybody's trying to get back on the ship at the same time. I think that Mississippi River cruise might be pretty interesting, though. I'm not a cruise. Yeah, Cal Cobbs, he says no. So I've talked to some people that have gone on those Alaskan cruises, and it's pretty, but they're long. The one I was on was like 7 days. And trust me, by the end of that 7th day, I wanted to get off the boat in Galveston. So I was, The one good thing about being on the cruise, if they like shows, like stage type shows, and depending on which cruise line you're on, but they all have them. Those can be fun, but usually if you can usually on a 7-day cruise, you'll see all of them at least once. And then, so yeah. Thanks. Yeah, my bride said I need a new hat. Well, Cow Cop, there you go. A new hat might be in your future. I always wear caps, and it's because I have no hair. And I do have a couple cowboy hats I wear occasionally, but my wife says because my head is so big that cowboy hats don't look good on me. So, and she's kind of got me paranoid. I've never really worn one on a regular basis because of that. Wisconsin, how you doing? Thanks for joining this morning. I'll take Dave's garage cotton. I feel that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get, so here, I'll show you. I'll get up close. You see how that's Del Rio feed and supply? That's a feed store. It's a true feed store in Del Rio, Texas. I don't know the people personally, but I've been in their store a couple of times down there hunting and in the past. And you can order these from their Facebook page. You can send them a Facebook message. They'll take a picture of where they have them in the store, and you can pay for them and they'll ship them to you. They're really good about that. So they do sell feed and tack and other stuff, but they do sell some clothing, and they sell these caps. And the reason I like these caps is how they're made. I don't like the old style trucker hats. I don't like the really low, what I call slope top hat. And this is the top hat I like. It looks good. It fits good. And I've probably got 40 of them. Mainly just because I wear them until they don't look good, and then my wife will say, okay, it's time to get rid of that one. Let me see here what Kim said. Yeah, now Kim's sister likes cruises. They love cruises. They went on a month-long cruise. I was like, no way. I don't think they've been on one since they went on that month-long one. I don't know for sure, but yeah. Kim's sister, her name is Shannon, and you may have heard me talk about it in the past. They own the Cedar Chest. It's an antique mall that they've started from scratch, and they've been really successful, and so they've been on TV a few times. But yeah, they have a ongoing about 40,000 square foot antique mall. So if you ever come to Texas, and I've posted a video about it too. It's called the Cedar Chest. So if you're ever in this part of the country and you like antiques, definitely go check them out. Because you could spend the whole day there. Oh man, it refused to go on crazy. There's a lot of things that you can do, and that's what I told my wife too. I was like, there's lots of things you can do right here in the United States without ever leaving the country. And I can think of a lot of things I'd like to. I don't really think I don't know. I'm not much of a traveler. I don't mind traveling. I hate dealing with the airports. They're a pain. I'd prefer to drive, but I don't like riding in a car more than about 6 hours, and then I've had all I want and I'm ready to get out. And I've gone on a few road trips, and they're not bad. You see a lot of stuff. I like to travel with friends, because even if it's just you and your wife, something happens. If you're traveling on the road, you just it's always good to have some additional support, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a vacation guide. You know, I could go from here to someplace and I wouldn't have a clue what to do. So I think, and I'm a planner. I like to have stuff kind of planned out. So I wouldn't mind going on a road trip. I'd like to go to. I'd like to see the Grand Canyon. I'd like to. I mean, there's some. Um, National parks I'd like to go and see sometime in my lifetime, hopefully before I get too old. So yeah, that would definitely be a road trip. And you know, it's pretty expensive to travel these days, so you kind of got to plan for it. And but yeah, other than that, I think there's plenty of places to go here in the United States and places and things to see without ever leaving the United States. That's for sure. Yeah, but so I'm definitely not a cruise person. I mean, we had a good time, but I was ready for it to be over, and I don't have a hankering to get back on a cruise ship anytime soon. You know, I've been along the Mexican Riviera multiple times, and it's really pretty. If you wanna see pretty parts of the Caribbean, that's definitely the side that you want to be on. When you see the pictures of the real blue water, that's exactly what it's like. That's not an exaggeration. Now you go over on the West Coast by California, that's not the water doesn't look as pretty, and it's usually colder. And yeah, I prefer the Caribbean side. My own body myself. Well, there you go. There's nothing wrong with that for sure, Calcott. There's fun things to, like I said, just to do around wherever you live. So anyway, get back to the fact that it's 24 days away from Christmas, and I'd like to know how many men, if you're married, know what you're going to get your wife. I have no clue. And every time I ask her, she goes, "Oh, I don't know." And then I'll hear my daughter or granddaughters go, "Yeah, I'm getting this, that." I was like, "Who told you that?" She goes, "Oh, my Mimi told me." And I'm like, "Huh." I asked her and can't get an answer out of her. And y'all have like a list. I was like, "Could I like maybe get?" "No, you're not taking nothing off my list." So yeah, I don't know yet. I guess I'll put a bow around my bald head and say surprise. No, that probably wouldn't work, would it? uh, I'll have to like. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll break out my cowboy hat. I'll wear it one morning. I'll keep my cap here just so y'all, when you stop laughing at me, I'll switch hats. But I have actually a couple of them, a couple of straw hats. I don't have a felt hat anymore. I used to. I like felt hats, except they get really hot in the summertime. And I noticed Chris wears a felt hat a lot. And that seems like my experience with them is they're really great in the wintertime, but they're really hot in the summertime. And you don't really, you see anybody that wears a felt hat in the summertime, you'll see that sweat ring. You'll see them on these caps too. But these caps you can actually wash. You can, I just stick them in the dishwasher on the top rack. And of course, I have to make sure there's nothing else in there. Hey, Apache, how's it going, buddy? Good morning. Yeah. So what time is it? 6:30. You know, it's funny. I've been getting messages. I started getting messages last night and sent to my phone. And again this morning, I've had a couple of messages where you always can tell it's been a long weekend when people are texting in advance, like, "Hey, not feeling good. Don't think I'm going to be there today," or "Hey, I'm running late today." But that's pretty much what I expect, a custom cowboy hat. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've had hats throughout the years. We've been married 47 years, and she just doesn't like them on me. She said they don't look good. And I see guys that wear them, and I'm like, oh, it looks good to me. But she said, I have a watermelon head, and she said they just don't look good. I'll wear one just so that you can see, and I'll let you I'll let you vote on whether you like it better than a cap. She likes the cap. She doesn't mind the cap. She just said that the cowboy hats don't look good. So I don't know. Yeah, so it's been Monday, and I know everybody kind of like slow start this morning. It's cold in the Northeast. College football's coming towards the end of the year. No baseball. This is the time of year, like right after Christmas, that I'm like, there's no sports. I mean, it's basketball season, and I'll watch a little basketball here and there, but I'm not much of a basketball fan. Football season's definitely my season of the year. I'll watch a little NFL stuff. I'm surprised. Can you believe that Dallas pulled it off and beat Kansas City? Or in the week before, they pulled it off and beat the Eagles? Every time I wear my Dallas Cowboys, I have a Dallas Cowboys shirt, and I think I wore it in a video that I made, and you would be surprised how many comments came across on YouTube about my Dallas Cowboys shirt. I was like, really, I want you to focus on what I'm doing the video on, which was a tool, and they were talking about the shirt I had on. So I thought that was funny. Yeah, earlier I was going to say at the end of last week, our company asked if I was interested in training our replacements, and I had to think about it for a minute. I wouldn't give them an answer, and then they just forced the answer, and of course the answer they got, I probably wasn't very nice, but I refused to train someone who's going to replace and take my job. I said I'll do my job, but I'm not going to teach somebody how to do my job. So yeah. So after that, we got past that conversation. On my LinkedIn page, you know how it'll ask you if are you open for work? I mean, are you looking for a job? Are you not looking for a job? And so, and I hadn't done anything with it. So I switched on. Yeah, I'm looking for a job. And I just posted something, and it was nice. I wasn't derogatory at all. Yeah, I thought it was pretty low that they, decide to eliminate your whole department, yet they want people to train the replacement. I can't wrap my head around that. And I told them not no, but oh no. Hang on a second here. Yeah. TikTok trying to make sure I'm not a bot. I told them no in a really nice but firm way. And so they got the point that I wasn't interested in helping them do that. And then there's a couple of projects that they would like for me that I've been managing that they're wanting to know and kind of putting pressure on that I finish. However, I don't have a lot of want to care. I don't really care if they're finished or not, because they really are not my projects. They were just me stepping in and helping another division do their part. So, and they haven't been. And of course, when you come at a group of people and you tell them, you're gone, and these guys are worried about feeding their family, paying the rent. Smacked DraftKings last night. Good deal, Cam. And their mind goes away from their daily task at work, and I try to remind the guys, hey, as long as we're still getting paid, you need to do your job. You don't need to do anything extra, but you do need to do your job because you are still getting a paycheck. And so, and that's pretty much what I told them. As long as I'm getting a paycheck, I'm going to do my job. Am I going to do extra? The answer would be no. I'm not going to help train somebody to take my job or their jobs. And you know, I had a boss he was a VP, and you know, he had a conversation with me, and he said, you know, if they're going to feel pain, they need to feel pain today, not 60 days after we're gone. And I kind of agree with him, because they've been told by multiple people at way higher than me that they're making a huge mistake, but somebody high enough up has made the decision, and so it is what it is. But after I posted, you know, what was going on my LinkedIn page, I was surprised to get probably more response than I've seen in the last few weeks. A lot of different job opportunities. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I don't know if I want to go back to work. I think, you know, I'm real fortunate to the fact that I have enough time and seniority that I've got probably 6 months of severance pay, which is good. You know, in 6 months, you can usually figure out what direction you want to go. And I think I'm going to just spend that 6 months doing social media, see how that works out. I'm not sure that it will be like a full-time job, but might be. You never know. Yeah, exactly, Ed. I like that. Remind your employer that actions have consequences. They do. And, you know, they're panicking because we're running out of time, and there's things that, you know, they are so lost. And, you know, if they were getting the questions that I get every day about, like, hey, what are we going to do? Who do we reach out to? What are we supposed to do if we have a problem? And I don't have the answer for all these people. And these are people I've worked with for a long time, and I can't give them an answer because the company has not given us an answer, and they haven't given us an answer because they don't know what they're going to do. So whoever thought this was a good, I'm not saying that they maybe shouldn't have done it. I mean, but you would have thought, as big a company as I work for, that they would be much more organized, and not so much. And so, yeah. So even if they offered me to stay, I'm not sure I'd want to stay at this point. But I think I'm going to just kind of take some time and do my social media and see how that turns out. If it turns out okay, then I'll continue to do that. If it doesn't, then, you know, I've got a couple of other avenues. And unfortunately, you know, I don't know. I don't really want to go do the same work for half the pay. And that's pretty much what's on the table out there right now. The companies want your experience. They just don't want to pay you for it. And so it might be better. I might be better suited to just not go back in that part of the work. I always wondered when my dad retired why he, you know, and he retired from law enforcement. He'd been in it a long time, all my life. And I thought maybe he was going to retire and do what Chris does, Cow Cop, but he opted not to do that either. And he never went back into law enforcement. Well, let me rephrase that. He did for 5 years. He was the chief of police for a local community college. And that was probably after those 5 years. So that would have put him at 62. After that, he never worked in law enforcement again. However, and for maybe a year or so, he didn't do anything. And then he got his insurance license. He had a brother-in-law that was what they call a storm jumper, and they go to where they've had a catastrophe like hurricanes and stuff where they've had major damage. And he was an independent insurance adjuster the last 10 years that he worked. And he worked till he was 75. And everybody said, 75 and he's climbing on roofs? I was like, yeah. Yeah, he is. I said, and the reason he retired was because they changed the software they used to estimate the damage on houses. And yeah, he worked Katrina. That was one of the places he worked, but he worked in Michigan a lot too for some reason. So yeah, he did that the last 10 years, and then he retired. And my dad passed away when he was 86. So yeah. So my plan was to work to 70 because I'm I always say providing that your health is good. Um, but now that I think about it, I'm like, wow, really? Should you work till you're 70 if you don't have to? Or should you, retire early? There's a lot of mixed messages when you get to this age and whether you should retire or not. I think you should retire to something and not to the couch. And I'm not going to retire to the couch. I can promise you that. So maybe I think it gives you maybe some more time to concentrate on your health. Do like Ed, get out and walk every day. I do walk some, and I'm on my feet most of the day, but not all the time. Amir 2000 RZ. Hey, man, how's it going? Hey, guys. Amir is from Iran. Talk about a long way away. Amir, are you in the U.S. right now, or are you in Iran? We'll wait on a comment. But anyway, yeah, so stay active, I don't know if I think Chris is younger than I am, and I know Ed's about 5 or 6 years younger than me. But both of y'all are coming up on that same thing, and of course, I don't know. I don't think churches. I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess you could get laid off. I know you're kind of. I don't know how that part of employment works for ministers, but I mean, you can minister a long time. But I'm gonna tell you, Ed has an active job. He works more hours than I do, and does a great job at it too. And thank goodness he's one of my supporters, because I probably wouldn't do it without that kind of support. So, man, can I speak Iranian? Can you speak Iranian? Well, we don't understand Iranian. You can, if you type anything in Iranian, we wouldn't be able to understand what you were saying, Amir. I am better looking. Mullen got started off. Is he still on, or did he get off? He might have got off. I don't know. So, guys, it's 6:53, and usually I shut it off about 6:45. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. It's been kind of a typical Monday, slow. Okay, I'm Iranian speak. Okay, and you reply, okay. Go for it, Amir. Anyway, it's about that time where we have to go back to work, and I can tell you, I checked this morning. I have a long list of tasks to do, and I've got 2 of the 4 guys. At least 2 of the 4 guys that I know of right now are not coming to work, and the third one's going to be late to work, and so. I don't know. Got to get my chores done. Have a great day, everybody. Chris, have a great one. Go get I'm reckoning Chris may have already fed the horses, but if not, he's got to go feed. And he's got several to feed for sure. Hey, Chris, what's the name of that horse that you featured in your video? She doesn't look like, I don't know if she has some Appaloosa in her or not, but she's pretty. And I was just guessing that she maybe is your main The main horse that you ride the most? Because I want to say that you had her saddled and tied to the fence there, and then it showed her without a saddle in the pasture. I don't know if Chris is still on or not. I'll have to find out what her name is. Thanks for joining the fan club. Thank you, everybody who's followed. Hey, John, how's it going, buddy? Good morning. Good morning. John comes to us from Australia. I'm always thankful. Thank you, John, for joining this morning. I appreciate that. We had quite a few people here reply. Let's see. I don't know if I can reply over here. Can I? Huh? No. Amir, I will reply. Okay. Because I'm streaming this from a mobile device on YouTube, so it doesn't really give me the ability to, I don't believe, let me see. Geo. Well, this is a morning coffee. Sorry, guys. Somebody's asking me here on YouTube what we do. Well, we sit around, drink coffee, we talk about the day, and we play trivia games sometimes and all that fun stuff. And just kind of talk about whatever you want to talk about as long as it's appropriate. Adult talk. Absolutely. Okay, guys. Hey, I'm going to have to cut this short. It is 6:57 and I've got to get my stuff together to go to work. Thank you, everybody, for joining this morning. We do talk about Jesus Christ sometimes. Sure do. Hey, Bob from Las Vegas. Thanks for joining. Hey, I'm sorry. We're right at the end of the live here. So if you're just joining, make sure you come back tomorrow. We start at 5:45. I know in Las Vegas, that's probably pretty early for you, but we usually go about an hour. So definitely perfect. Thank you. Thank you for following. If you'd like to follow, leave some comments. I'll follow up and answer your comments personally. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody over here on TikTok for joining. And I'll be back in the morning, 5:45 for Morning Coffee Talk Live. Thank you, everybody. Have a great, blessed Monday.